Give us your fucking wallet, you cunt!
The movie starts with Tom asleep on his couch. When he wakes up, he walks over to the window of his apartment and spots a guy trying to steal someone's car. Without hesitation, Tom heads outside and confronts him. He warns the thief to back off, but the guy doesn't listen, and a fight breaks out. Tom beats the thief brutally and warns him that if he ever sees him again, he'll kill him. Tom leaves the scene, but the next day, the story hits the news, claiming that Tom assaulted some innocent kids. The media starts targeting him and his entire department after the incident. The department grows concerned about Tom and sends him to see a counselor, but Tom is rude even during the session. He lights up a cigarette right in front of the counselor, and when the man tells him to stop, Tom threatens him before walking out and heading back to the precinct.
I'm not sure that you realise the gravity of your situation. Sergeant Brant, in the last year, you've been charged with bugging the superintendent's office. And just last week, you assaulted 3 innocent youths with a hockey stick. My report will be a major factor in whether you remain in the force.
This is the only work I can do. Now, if I get bounced, I'm sure I'll do something truly reckless.
We are then introduced to Elizabeth, a police constable, who comes to talk to Tom. She tells him she had been working undercover for a long time on a case involving drug dealers. To maintain her cover, she had to take drugs to prove she was one of them.
I thought 2 years undercover on the drug squad would help me out, but I don't know. Like maybe my past went against me, or I failed the sergeant's exam.
Over time, she developed a real addiction. After the mission ended, she was sent to rehab. When she got out, she tried to move forward with her career, but failed the sergeant's exam, which led to her being demoted back to constable. Tom tries to comfort her, but she's clearly struggling and deeply depressed. Tom then goes to see Chief Inspector Bruce Roberts, who works closely with him. Bruce's wife has just passed away, and when they go to see her body, Bruce breaks down emotionally. Tom takes him out to a bar afterward, and while they drink, he manages to lift Bruce's spirits a little. In the next scene, a female police officer is walking down the street when a man in a hoodie steps in front of her and shoots her. Tom is informed and arrives at the crime scene. Other officers ask him about Bruce, but Tom explains that Bruce is still grieving his wife and won't be working for a while. However, the murder of a police officer is too serious to ignore, so a temporary inspector is brought in to take Bruce's place. The new inspector is Porter Nash. The other officers immediately dislike him and don't want to work under him because rumors are circulating that Porter is gay.
Sir, shouldn't we promote one of our own?
No, Jim.
Despite their resistance, a superior officer makes it clear that they will follow Porter's command, leaving them no choice. Surprisingly, Porter finds an unexpected ally in Tom, the hot-headed and aggressive detective sergeant known for his violent past. While the investigation is underway, Elizabeth is visited by a young gang member named Metal. He's scared that his gang may have killed someone. Elizabeth promises to look into it, but tells him this is the last time she's helping him.
I think we killed someone. He weren't moving.
Okay, I'll look into it. Now you go home and you wait till you hear from me.
She warns him that if the victim is dead, he needs to leave the city, and if the person is still alive, he needs to leave the gang for good. She then goes to Tom, explains the situation, and Tom tells her to go see Craig. Elizabeth reaches out to Detective Inspector Craig Stokes, who agrees to help her, but only if she goes on a date with him. Meanwhile, a reporter receives a phone call from a young man named Barry, who claims that he is the one responsible for shooting the police officer. He says he's not done yet and plans to target more officers in the coming days.
I'm offering you information, you don't even say hello.
What's your name?
Oh, Christ, I'm not sure you're even up to the task.
What task?
Reporting from inside the police killings.
8 more coppers to kill. Bye.
While still on the call, Barry approaches another officer and shoots him. He then tells the reporter that he has 8 more officers on his list before hanging up. The news spreads rapidly, and Porter goes to speak with Tom, asking if he really is the man people say he is. During their conversation, Tom realizes that Porter knows a lot about him. At that moment, they receive word that another officer has been killed. In response, they begin rounding up criminals across the city. They activate all their informants and instruct them to be more alert than ever. Tom meets with one of his informants, Radner, who points him and Porter toward a man named Barry Weiss, who recently bragged about setting a police dog on fire for practice.
Does this bloke at the Peacock Gym? He set fire to a police dog. YouTubed it. Somebody asked him why he did it. He said, practice.
Tom and Porter go to Barry's apartment, but they can't immediately find any solid evidence against him. When Barry opens the door and sees the officers, he's briefly caught off guard, but he quickly regains his composure. Tom recognizes Barry as someone he beat up in a billiards hall a year earlier. He mocks him before leaving with Porter. As soon as they're gone, Barry gathers some of his belongings and quickly leaves his apartment to hide them somewhere. However, Tom's informant follows Barry and figures out where he's hiding his stuff. Meanwhile, Bruce goes to a store to buy some liquor, but it suddenly hits him that he's ruining his life. He decides to pull himself together and return to work. He reports back to the station and gets back on duty. As he heads out later, we see Barry following him. It turns out Bruce is Barry's next target. Bruce makes it home, but Barry follows him there. When Barry knocks and Bruce opens the door, he's immediately attacked. Being a police officer, Bruce fights back. He grabs a hammer and is about to strike Barry, but Barry wrestles it away and brutally beats him to death with it. After killing him, Barry casually sits down and watches TV in Bruce's house. He then takes Bruce's uniform and leaves. Barry calls the reporter again, telling him he has killed the third officer, Bruce. He demands that his name be published in the press the next day and instructs the reporter to call him Blitz. Tom later finds out that Bruce has been killed, and he's shaken, since Bruce was a close friend. Elsewhere, Barry is seen putting his belongings into the trunk of a car. Tom's informant has been tracking him the entire time and watching his every move. He approaches the car and discovers Barry's stash. The informant then calls the same reporter and tells him he knows who the killer is. He tries to make a deal, demanding $50,000 in exchange for the location of the evidence proving the killer's identity. The reporter agrees and asks where to meet. The informant gives him the address of a parking lot. The reporter goes there immediately, and the informant shows him the items in the car. He doesn't fully believe everything, but he recognizes Bruce's uniform and starts to take it seriously. He agrees to pay the money. Meanwhile, Barry has been watching everything unfold and sees that the informant has brought a reporter along. After they leave, Barry removes all the evidence from the car. Meanwhile, the reporter takes the informant to a bar and hands over the money. The informant says he needs to use the restroom. When the reporter asks for the killer's name, the informant says he'll tell him after he gets back. Inside the bathroom, Barry is already there, having followed them. When the informant sees him, he starts shaking in fear. He begs for his life, saying he hasn't revealed his name yet and doesn't deserve to die. But Barry shows no mercy and kills him, then leaves with the $50,000. Dunlop, the reporter, alerts the police about the car, but when they check it, it's empty. Tom and another officer realize that all of Blitz's victims so far have been police officers who had previously arrested Barry, meaning Elizabeth is likely the next target. After returning home from her date with Stokes, Elizabeth is attacked by Barry, but Metal intervenes and saves her, sacrificing his own life in the process. Before Barry can strike again, the police arrive. Tom and Porter decide to release Barry's photo to the media to flush him out. After a long chase, Barry is eventually captured. However, there's no solid evidence against him, and after 48 hours of interrogation with no results, they're forced to release him. Frustrated, Tom and Porter come up with a plan to trap Barry, knowing he'll want revenge on Tom for their past fight at the billiards hall. Barry later infiltrates Bruce's funeral, dressed in Bruce's stolen uniform. During the service, Tom leaves, and Barry follows him. Tom leads him up to the top of a parking garage, where it's revealed that Tom and Porter had switched places along the way. Caught off guard by the real Tom, Barry is brutally beaten, overpowered, and disarmed. Tom explains that they'll never get enough evidence to convict Barry legally. But now they have an opportunity. Since Barry is dressed as a police officer and Tom has Barry's gun, they can shoot him and make it look like he was just another victim of Blitz.
You can't kill me. I'm the Blitz.
You talking about that cop killer? Can't be you, Barry. We tried to convict you, but you were innocent.
Only thing we do know is partial to people in uniform. Just like the one you're wearing. And just like this one.
Acting on that plan, Tom shoots Barry dead. Porter then disposes of all the evidence. After Barry's death, Tom decides to teach the reporter a lesson. He sets dogs loose on Dunlop for writing negative stories about him and the police.
All right, that's where we're ending this one. If you made it this far, you already know you enjoyed the story. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button and join the channel. I've got more intense recaps and stories coming your way, and you don't want to miss them. Drop a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.